Yeah, it's tough. So when you were in a competitive program like this with so many girls trying out that are so competent in the game of softball but want to be here, it's hard to find a slot for everybody. So we have to push them. The 3-day process here is extensive. It's a slow progression to some of the hardest girls you'll ever face. And the only way we can find out who can make that is to push them beyond their maximum. See how far they can go out on the diamond or even in here in a drill set. So we'll run 3 full days. It'll run about 3.5 hours each day to try to figure out who can actually play at the level to be a part of this program. And on the 4th day, it's always the toughest. You know, we're going to make some hard cuts. We're going to have tough conversations, and some kids are going to go home. And it doesn't mean that we don't appreciate their commitment. It doesn't mean that we don't appreciate the fact that they tried out. In fact, I've often said that the girls who come here who get cut are often the ones who have driven our better players to play harder because they are afraid to be replaced by anyone. And these girls walk in the gym knowing nothing that is certain. They have to earn their right out on that field, and they do that by being pushed by one another. So it's quite a week. It's an exhausting week for these girls. It's an exhausting week for the coaches.
Them a lot of options.
I know, I'm trying to see Red's plan, but they don't go.
Red may be moving in, so I'm just thinking.
Red can move before you hit.
Yeah, but I can move before Red too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to move that one? That's the only one you can move. You have to move that one.
Yeah. Are you waiting?
No, because I can't.
You get 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds, and then you both have to run back, whether you move it or not. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good.
Was huge stress reliever. Like, you kind of already know, like, that, like, everybody has to try out and everybody has to make team, but like when you're like a senior, you kind of like expect yourself to be on the team. Like, we really shouldn't say that, but I feel like that's how it is. So that's why we all came in here together. But like, even after coming in here and like just going in there, you knew that like your talk was over, like you were fine, you were good, and it's just like a huge like weight off your shoulders, and it just feels like amazing. It just reminds me of last season and how like exciting that was, and just to be like back in that position, and it just feels really relieving, like, and to have fun with the girls in there is just like a great time.
I definitely like it because it just takes the pressure away, and I mean the girls in there were so nervous about coming in, and it just helped like keep their mind off of it and just focus on having fun and like being with the team. And then after when they come back and they're excited, because I think mostly everyone was happy, and so they'd come back and be excited and get to like play games with the team and just have fun and let loose after the stressful.
And you could tell from the beginning of that and towards the end how looser the girls got and more relaxed and stress-free they got. And that's really important too, because you don't want to go into the season already stressed and always worried and all of that. So having that nice stress reliever is like a good way to get into the season.
I think that was really important to do, because those 3 days are they kind of like stun you a little bit, because you're like, oh, softball season, like it's coming, and then you have the 3 days and you're really tired, and it kind of is like a slap on the face. And then Thursday, just being able to have fun with each other and like let loose, really like start to gel as a team. I thought it was a really
Sorry, let's go back to just but way too stacked. One of the seniors is out, or I will pull.
It's interesting because I don't think that they realized how they were being measured. They knew that there was a lot of pressure on them to get the job done and to be out there on the floor working with those kids and pushing. And they missed some things, you know, and that's part of the progression of a player and understanding what their role is. So they're going from being a strong teammate to now being leaders out there. And so we tested them. We knew there would be some failure involved and that they'd make some mistakes. And with the stress, they caved a little bit, you know, and so they've reset themselves. I think that their communication has improved a lot. They're really starting to get under focus, and I see them working better together because now their roles have changed. So it's gone from working alongside one another as a teammate to, okay, how do I do my job and then give leadership to 2 or 3 other players in this line or stack or whatever it is we're working on, even if it's just something other than softball. So they're getting it, and I think we're seeing improvements. I think they took it pretty well. I mean, we always don't know the whole story. I mean, they have a perception, and we have a perception as a coaching staff, but I think after that conversation, we all left here feeling a lot better about it and saying, okay, this was a trying week for everybody. We were all tired. I mean, it was a lot. It was a stressful week, and to get through it was a big sigh of relief for the
You can be leaders of something else, but when you're the senior, like, there's no one above you. You're the top dog, so it's a different kind of leadership and something different you have to adjust to. Because, I don't know, it's just weird being like, you're the oldest person there kind of thing. So adjusting to that and like really realizing that is
I feel like we have been able to understand like where he's coming from about being like spreading out more and, you know, teaching the younger kids how important it is to be serious at certain times and to like show them what it actually means to be like on the team and like the importance of it and the rules and like just understanding the game better, I guess. So he's like, I feel like we've done a really good job with like understanding that it's not just about the 6 of us, it's like about the whole team and teaching them what it's like to be a senior and what it's like to be like a team leader. And I think we've done a really good job handling that. I mean, it took us some time to learn. Like at first we all wanted to be together because it's like our last year together, so like we were kind of like cliquey, but then we didn't like mean it in a way that like we didn't want to be talking to anybody else. It was just like natural. So he had to kind of like remind us that this isn't a social hour or whatnot. It's kind of like, okay, go spread yourselves out, like teach the other girls.
Yeah, definitely, because we had strong leadership on our team last year with Nicole Nana, and she was fabulous, like one of my closest friends, like I love her. And so now there's 6 of us, and it's an adjustment, all being leadership on the team, and it's definitely like a learning curve, but I'm really excited about it because I love these girls. I've been playing with them for forever, and I think we're going to do a really good job.
As soon as we got here on Monday, we were working even harder and trying to be more focused as seniors, and I think we were trying to be more united as seniors just by taking more leadership at practice.
And I think what you saw at the end when we had that serious conversation was all about that, the stress kind of overwhelming them and starting to put their heads around, this is it. So if this is your last ride, how do you want to go out of here? How do you want to be remembered? What will your legacy be? And every year when I talk to my seniors, I talk to them about creating a legacy. When you put it in those terms, it changes everything for them because now they start to recognize that they're going to leave behind something that they never thought about before. When you're just a player and there's no responsibility other than to your team, it's sort of great, you know. You get in lines, you do things. You always wonder why the other girl maybe is getting pulled out of the stack that's older to be told to do these things and she's being asked to do stuff and you just think, no big deal. But when it becomes you, it changes everything. There's a lot of sort of light bulbs turning on now in their heads and they're saying, wow, I have a greater role here than I ever realized. Not only am I going to be a player, but now I have to take a leadership role, and then I have responsibilities on top of that. And that's a life skill. That's a life lesson that is getting taught, and it's getting taught right out there on the diamond.
Touch the dirt. It's kind of nice to just get a little dirty, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple different stacks, different runs, and different stuff just to stretch our legs. We're going to do some infield stacks, outfield stacks with everybody. At any point if you're not feeling well, talk it up, let me know. Come visit with Jazz. She loves friends. Chat. She does. All right, here we go. Everybody else stack up at 3.
I have the bucket.
Definitely always itching to get outside. We were so excited because we thought we were going to have tryouts outside this year, and then it snowed, so that dream ended. But it's nice to finally get out there, just because we have to use like the squishy balls inside, and it's annoying to throw, and it's hard to run an infield. Like ground balls bounce differently, so it'll be nice to just get outside and run an infield, use the real ball.
It kind of puts in perspective that, you know, the season is starting and makes it more real that it's starting. So it's exciting because everything is different on the field too than it is inside. So you're finally getting into everything.
Let it go. Take that one with you, Tad.
Outside it's just like way more realistic and much more normal, so it's like way better to play, and like wearing your cleats on the dirt is way more different than wearing sneakers in a gym where you're slipping all the time. And especially for like pitchers, I don't pitch, but I know they pitch better outside, and it's just a lot better.
First day outside definitely makes it real, because being in the gym is fun and all, being with our team, but being outside and like on the dirt and the grass makes it feel even more real.
Going outside is just awesome. Nothing beats watching these girls get out there and work and get their hands in the dirt and play. It's just not the same in the gym, and we do the best we can to simulate, but it just feels different, it looks different, the weather is part of that, and they just start to get in a really nice groove when we're out at our complex.
The you know, like the dirt of the field and like being out on the grass and having the sunlight and like, you know, playing under the lights. That's something we always love. Like, it's a big part of the game.
I want to see our adjustments to the different things that are happening, and also like not beating ourselves up, because it's the first game back. Obviously we're going to have to make those adjustments to the first game, and it's been a while since we've been in a game situation, so just making sure and realizing that it is our first time back, and you know, to take it one play at a time. Don't worry about it if you mess up, it's just a scrimmage kind of thing.
I am insanely excited to get back out there. I actually went and watched my college team play yesterday, and I just like was so excited to like get back on the field and start playing with my team. And I'm really hoping that we can just come together and like work hard. I mean, obviously it's not going to be perfect. Like, we're just getting back out on the field today, so just go out there and make the routine plays to get started and just work well together and get along, because, I mean, that usually happens, but we just want to make sure.
Saturday we're going to make mistakes and we're going to like mess up because it'll be our first time playing a real game together, but I'm excited to see our adjustments after I'm actually excited to see what mistakes we make, because then I know what we need to work on and I know what maybe I need to work on.
Saturday is all about getting them on the move and getting them some live bodies to play against, and what I want to see happen is we want to check the effectiveness of our pitchers and see how they're ranging, see what their pitches look like, how do they do against good batters, poor batters, how's their movement out on the mound. For our defense, it's really about setting them in motion and having them make plays. And there are going to be mistakes, there are going to be adjustments because we have some new kids. So we're going to roll in some of the remaining 6, we're going to roll in some of the new kids, we're going to integrate. And really our end run game is to see how they react. Some of the younger kids, what our goal is just to see how they handle that final big step. Okay, now I'm up here and I could be a starter in a game, or I could be involved in a lot of plays at this level, and am I ready for that? And scrimmages will show that. They don't show everything, but they're a good indicator. And the other thing I just want to do is I just want to get them out there and have them play against someone, just other than themselves. So there's a little bit of stress, a little bit of pressure. And really the takeaway will be how many teachable moments can we find and then go back over those. So we'll be doing a lot of film, and we'll be videotaping a lot of stuff to see what types of mistakes they make and how their movement is on the diamond.